How is it going, everybody? Welcome to another Movie Hooker video, and today I want to talk about one of my favorite, in my top three favorite horror movies of 2025, and this movie is also in my among my favorite in the last few years when it comes to supernatural movies. And the film that I want to talk about, and I want to touch on then afterwards, this director and the movie that he is going to be next, and why when people hear this, people are going to go, "Ugh, not another one." But when I heard the news, I am like, "This is fantastic news," and I am going to tell you why. The director I am on about, he is called Ian Tuason. I may be pronouncing that name wrong, and he is the writer and the director of the supernatural horror film The Undertone. Now, here's the thing about The Undertone. I am one of the lucky people in the world to have seen it. There's not very many people who have caught this film yet, and it's incredible. Now, it had its world premiere at Fantasia International Film Festival, and then also after that, A24 snapped it up in a seven-figure deal, and it has also been confirmed that the movie is going to be playing at 2026 Sundance. Incredible news for Ian and the team involved with The Undertone, and just, I'd say, not so good news for people because they're not going to be able to check this film out for quite a while, I'd imagine. But just know that The Undertone is coming from A24, and you know already if A24 have their sights on it, then it is almost certainly a winner. So the film focuses on a podcast host who, I think her name is Evangeline Evie, and she has to move back in with her mother, who is bedridden upstairs and dying. She can't talk, she is comatose, and she is on her way out. She is also the co host of a supernatural podcast, or maybe it's a true crime. It's a crime stroke supernatural podcast. And she receives these files for her new podcast. And yeah, that's all I really can say about it. The files are absolutely terrifying. Now, the thing about The Undertone that I really, really loved is that it's a very audio. Is auditory a word? I don't know. It's a very audio driven film. The sound design is incredible. There's like basically only one. I should have this information ready for everybody. There's basically only one cast member, and I've like while people would say, "Oh, I don't like films with just one cast member," and I am one of those people that think if you can keep my attention for the entirety of a film with one cast member in the film, then I think that is like one of the best achievements that you could do as a filmmaker and as an actor. And The Undertone. Sorry, I'm just typing it in. Nina Kiri is the person who plays Evie. Is that her name? I should have. It's currently got an 8.4 on IMDb. Evie, yes, I was right. So the thing about The Undertone is that I watched it and it completely creeped me out. And I love when films creep me out because very few films can make the hairs stand up on my arms and on the back of my neck, and that's what this film did. Also, I then watched it a second time with my partner, and it freaked the absolute shit out of her as well. I then started talking to one of my movie buddies, Gavin, from Fright Club Northern Ireland, and we started talking about it. He covered the same film festival, so we are both among the. We could be like just among the top. I don't know how many people in Ireland have seen this movie, but I'd say we're one of very very little. Maybe I don't know, but I said to Gavin, I think I noticed something in this movie, and he says, "Oh, it's a really good take." And I said, "Right, I am going to go and I am going to watch it again." And what I did when I really enjoy a movie and I am fascinated with every aspect of the filmmaking process, and I was so intrigued by the sound design in this movie. And when I watched it for the third time, I didn't really watch the movie. I watched like the background, and I was like, shit. I think something just clicked, and I wish I could talk about it more. But in doing that, I would be spoiling this film for you. But anyway, Ian, the director and the writer, follows Movie Hooker, and I follow him on Instagram. And obviously, I can talk to Ian about it. So I text him and I said, "Listen, man, I noticed this on the film, and I noticed this, and I noticed that." And the only thing he done, I says, "Am I right?" And the only thing he replied with was like an eyeball emoji. Sorry about that. So that was pretty much verification for the things that I noticed in it, and just those tiny, tiny little details. So anyway, it's called The Undertone. It may be a while before people see it, but trust me, once you do see it, if you're into minimalistic, sound driven, supernatural horror, then The Undertone is going to get under your skin. And I mean, it absolutely terrify you. And not only that, it's going to make you scared of nursery rhymes. Nursery rhymes are a big part of it. Children's nursery rhymes, obviously. And yeah, it's just this. The sound design is incredible in it, and the minimalistic approach to just like there's only pretty much one setting inside this house. So that brings me now. That's enough about the Undertone. So I hope I have sort of got that into you now about the sound, about the one set location, and the next thing I want to talk about is Ian's next movie that he has. It's been confirmed. Are you ready? He is going to be directing a relaunch of the Paranormal Activity movies. I think it's maybe the seventh or eighth movie in the entire franchise, but I think this may be like a whole like relaunch of the whole franchise. So we could get another seven or eight. And people might say, "Oh, it's been done to death. Paranormal Activity hasn't been good since the first one." I'm going to tell you, this is the best thing to happen to Paranormal Activity since Paranormal Activity. And if you've seen The Undertone, you will understand why. And that is the minimalistic approach, the sound. Like with Paranormal Activity, Oren Pelly done an incredible job by showing us absolutely nothing and scaring us. That's exactly what Ian did with The Undertone. Like he's going to make Paranormal Activity like a real sound driven nightmare, and I cannot wait to see where he takes this franchise because I'm a big fan of Paranormal Activity. I think all of them, well, maybe not all of them, but most of them really do have their moments. I would take Paranormal Activity 6 over The Conjuring Last Rites or any of those movies any day of the week. So that is all I want to say, guys. The director, Ian Tuason, I don't know how to pronounce his name, that he is the director, and I'm not too sure of the writer, but he is going to be bringing us the brand new Paranormal Activity, which is going to be a cross production between Paramount and Blumhouse and Atomic Monster, which is James Wan's production company. So thank you very much for watching. That's all I want to say. I just can't wait for you all to check out The Undertone, because once you see The Undertone, you're going to be thinking this guy is the perfect fitting for a new Paranormal Activity. He's going to make it terrifying again. Thank you very much for watching. Follow for more, subscribe for more, all that. Cheers. Bye bye.